that we are not hopeless. Never. And this year's Child Month theme, listen up. Children's voices matter is in itself a catalyst for change. If we collectively agree with it, with the message, and if we take this call seriously, and if we practice what it says, listen up, children's voices matter. But how do we make children's voices matter? I believe the first thing we must agree upon is that children have a right to a voice. And I'm saying this even when I recognize that it is not an easy thing in a culture that still believes that children must be seen and not heard. Now, addressing the importance of children's voices, one expert in their critical thinking skills and propelling them along a path of personal and professional success, not to mention, as well, the social and interpersonal skills they learn. You know, throughout my years as a child advocate, and I've been in this business a long time, I can't tell you how many valuable lessons I have personally learned by just listening and speaking with children. Many have been sad stories about abuse and neglect of one kind or another, but many have made me smile and LOL, laugh out loud. Yeah. I find our children to be very amusing. I find them to be very smart. And oftentimes, I'm completely outdone by the children. One of the stories I cherish, a little sad, but gives me hope about the potential of the children, even those who have been abused, is a story about a little one. 6-year-old Angel, not her right name. Angel, one afternoon, when her mother had gone to work, and when her grandmother had gone down the road to take care of an elderly gentleman, that little Angel, only 6, was lured by the man next door and sexually assaulted. It was a sad story, and we fought hard in that case in court. Weeks after it happened, her mother brought her to my office the morning, and she came into my office. I had a lot of work to do, but she was going to spend some time with me. And I noticed that every time I would get up from my desk, she would walk behind me. Everywhere I went, she was behind me. And I recognized that the trauma she was still suffering, she didn't want to be left alone, not even for a second, not even for a second. And I quickly recognized the problem. So, gave her a little desk near mine. And since I had a lot of work, I wanted to find some things that she could do that could, occupy her time that she'd be happy doing. So I said to her, "You like to draw, Angel?" She said, "Yeah, me like draw." So I said, "Okay." So I gave her the pencil and the paper, and I said to her, "What you can draw?" She said, "Me can draw a house." I said, "Okay, go draw a house for me." And she went to the desk. I was hoping she would take a long time. She never take a long time. When I look, she bring back the house. And I'm looking at it, and I say, "Wow, Angel, you can really draw, man. But I don't understand. How come the house don't have no furniture?" Because she drew the outline of a house. Here now, "All right, me soon come back." And she run to the little desk, and before I know it, here now, see it here now, and she showed me. And I saw the fridge. She draw the bed. She draw the TV. And I'm looking at it. And I said, "Angel, I said, this is lovely, but there's nobody in the house. She looked at me very puzzled, as if I don't have no sense. She said, the mother gonna work and the picnic them gonna school. I was completely outdone. That's it. So some of the stories, though sad, I find our children to be absolutely adorable. I love them, I love them, I love them, and so smart. And you never sometimes know how smart they are, till you have that kind of situation. And it's important that we continue to help unlock their fullest potential. So, in concluding, I'd like to make some recommendations for how we can begin, I think, to make children's voices matter even more in this country. Number one, create and pursue a counter-cultural campaign through public education, television, radio, social media, etc., providing short, sharp tips on how we listen and speak to children, how we let their voices heard. A second recommendation is to design and introduce a children's voices curriculum for the formal education system, involving discussion and sharing sessions, children's artwork, drawings, and so on, and other appropriate learning tools across all levels of the school system and running through all the subject areas. One of my grandchildren who lives in Atlanta, he's a little older now, but when he was much younger, he would always tell me that when he would go to school every morning, maybe he might have been about 8 or 9 years old at the time, that every single morning when they would get to school and get to the classroom, they would have a speaking and listening session as little children. They would talk and share and discuss all kinds of things. That's what I'd like to see us do here. I think we can do this. And then we can cut it across all the subject areas. That model can then be adopted by churches, by youth groups, and any organization or group working with children. And thirdly, I'd like to invite you, the media, to make children's voices heard more by engaging them in conversations, polls, surveys, vox pops, etc., where their opinions and their views are heard, respected, and validated. And of course, for those of us working with children, we can continue to give them a voice through our own work, through referrals, assessments, court statements, publications, and the wide range of support services we provide for them. Interestingly enough, here the Children's Scribe for several years produced and disseminated an e-newsletter called The Children's Voice, written and produced by my colleague who is here with me this morning, Sandy McIntosh, a specialist writer. And it was just such a wonderful thing. We had children's testimonials, their pictures, we heard from parents, and that's how we made sure that children's voices are heard. I'm sure that other organizations in Jamaica have other similar outreaches. So, I had made a special request, and I'm at the end now. I don't know if we were able to show it, the Children's Monument. Was it on? Or is it possible we could put that back on? I'm not sure. I had asked for that to be displayed. Yeah, here we go. This is Lest We Forget. Now, this monument is only a few blocks from here. Only a few blocks. Every single Jamaican should know about this monument. Every single child should know. These are children who have died violently and tragically in our country. I remember sitting when this was unveiled many years ago. And I would never have thought that the monument would run out of space. Children who have died in our country over the last 5 years, maybe even a little longer, their names are not there. Their names are not there because we ran out of space. It is a blight on our country, and we should never, ever forget this monument. We can no longer hear their voices, but for all the others, we want to say, we will listen up because children's voices matter. Thank you very much.
Please keep the applause running for our lovely keynote speaker, Mrs. Betty Ann Blaine. Ladies and gentlemen, I usually try to have a little synopsis after individuals go up and speak, but I think I can say I am speechless. There's nothing left for me to add because not only were we just listening to potent words, we were touched, we were inspired, and you gave us call to action. So I think gold stars for you, Mrs. Blaine.
Yes. Thank you very much.
But we don't want you to go and say, you just running away, leave us.
Oh, wait.
No.
All right.
We have to show appreciation and gratitude. And how do we do that over here, Celine?
Oh, dear.
Of course. So now I'm going to invite Miss Sandrina Davis, that is the Chief Executive Officer at Grace and Staff Community Development Foundation, to present to you a small token of appreciation.
Let's keep the round of applause going.
Let's keep the applause going. Okay.
Thank you so
Yes,
much, Mrs. Blaine.
Thank you.
Indeed, and we are indeed grateful for you, Mrs. Blaine, for all that you do, and even just the passion that surrounds that, because we have many people who say they are for the children, but it is the passion and care that you represent that we are indeed grateful for. And I also want to take this opportunity as well to mention the Jamaica Prefects Association, which I am the General Secretary, and we are also another avenue for children's voices to be heard.
Right.
Yes.
So, we're moving now to the end of our program, but just before we wrap up things, we're going to hear from the patron of Child Month, the Honorable Douglas Arain, for him to bring his greetings on the launch of Child Month virtually. So, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screen.
Greetings, my fellow Jamaicans. The theme for this year's Child Month is Listen Up, Children's Voices Matter. What does that mean for us? Let's make a time for them to feel completely comfortable with us as adults so they can express themselves freely and without fear or apprehension. We now have a special mission at this time. Our children have been missing face-to-face schooling for 2 years because of COVID-19. Let's make sure each and every one of them is back in school to re-engage with the learning process. I now declare Child Month, May 2022, launched. Have a good day. Greetings, my fellow Jamaicans. The theme for this year's Child Month is Listen Up, Children's
That was the
Voices
Honorable
Matter.
Douglas Arain bringing his
What does
greetings
that
for the
mean
launch
for
of
us?
Child Month.
Let's make
Now,
time.
just before we wrap up, I want to really give some more gratitude and appreciation for our sponsors. Our lead sponsors, Grace Kennedy Group, celebrating 100 years. We want to give them a round of applause and gold stars. Yes. You want mackerel, you want corned beef, but you also want to hear about the children? Grace Kennedy is the place to be.
Indeed.
And of course, if you love crackers for your steamed fish, if you like bread and all of that, you can always go to the National, who's another lead sponsor for our event, National Baking Company Foundation. But of course, many hands make light work, and our other sponsors who made this possible: Jamaica National Foundation, National Health Fund, St. Mary. If you love the banana chips, that's where we go for our banana chips. And if all your books, from pencils to books, everything in between, Sangster's Bookstore. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause. Ooh. Yeah, I said Jamaica National, Dr. Marlene's. I have to make all our sponsors feel included and feel nice. So thank you so much for your kind contributions to making this possible. So we're going to have just a symbolic presentation done by some of our sponsors. This will be done by Miss Gayon Douglas from the Jamaica Producers, representing the St. Mary's brand, as well as, who else do we have here, Celine?
We also have Miss Shauna K. Wright from the Jamaica National Group, who will also be giving some presentations this morning.
All right, so we're going to invite them to the stage to make their presentations. Let's just make them feel welcome. Round of applause. Some
Keep the
claps.
applause going.
Give me some emojis in the chat. All right. On the clap, no man, on the clap. Yes.
The National Baking.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And another presentation from Jamaica National. All right, round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely lovely.
Yes, and of course, continuing with the spirit of giving, I was just informed that the National Baking Company Foundation also too has some tokens for young children just right outside. So after this, they can go ahead and receive their tokens.
I do hope I'm a young child as well, so I can get my tokens too. All right, so Celine, we've been having a jam-packed session, and I think everyone can really feel invigorated as we move into May to celebrate Child Month. But of course, gratitude is a must. Everything has been running seamlessly and smoothly. Can we agree? Yes, yes. You got vibes, you got entertainment, you got a riveting keynote speaker, both
Yes,
young
both
and
young
old.
and old.
And of course, I think your MCs have been jazzing it up, not to be proud, but I think we've been doing a good job. Yes. So we're gonna invite to the podium none other than Dr. Michelle Campbell, the chairperson for the Media Launch Subcommittee, to bring vote of thanks. Let's give a round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a great time we have been having. Would you agree? Come on, would you agree? I feel so honored, and I'm sure the other members of the committee, the National Child Month Committee, feel blessed as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a pleasant good afternoon to you all. Today's media launch of Child Month under the theme Listen Up, Children's Voices Matter, not only serve to sensitize the public of the theme for this year, but also to provide a platform for our young people to speak and foster an environment for us to listen. Oh, how so ably done. Oh, how so ably done. It is my extreme pleasure and delight to move the vote of thanks to the persons who have made this media launch a success. First, let us thank God for steering the plans surrounding this launch and for being in the midst of it today. We as planning committee members can speak to that. We give him all the honor and all the praise. To our Master of Ceremonies, Miss Tomoy Campbell and Miss Celine Nicholson, thank you so much for steering the proceedings. They did a wonderful job, didn't they? A wonderful, wonderful job. And I feel thankful that our future lies with these young people and others. Give them a bigger round of applause. They so eloquently guided the proceedings.